Hold on. Let me take a sip.
Welcome to my car.
Yeah, what do you got back there? Are those golf clubs?
No, that's a beach wagon.
Oh.
That carries all of my gear.
Okay, I love that.
My to-go bag. I've been
Amazing.
on the move since I want to say 7 o'clock this morning. So
Are we supposed to act like that's abnormal or?
usually I'm sedentary for a while.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, the last 3 days have been throw all of the crap that I own in a car and go to places.
Okay.
And I just like that.
Weren't you just working out?
I did. Right, my gym's right behind us.
You look great for just have worked
Thanks.
out. You look fresh as a daisy and not like you were just sweat. You know what? It's amazing. And I'm so proud of you too for being active and doing the workout things. You said you were going to do it.
I know.
I
The
was
last
like,
3
we'll see.
weeks. And I know, right? I'm doing it. Things are moving.
Right. I'm feeling behind.
Don't feel behind. Just feel motivated. It's the weekend. We should be ready.
I know. It is like it's the first full weekend I've worked in a store in a long time though. So today's my
Welcome
day
back.
off and then I got to work all weekend. But I'm trying not to be annoyed about it because I literally haven't worked a full weekend because I've been back and forth for months now. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, Tori, you can work a Saturday and Sunday back to back. You'll be fine. So
Yeah, you and I have kind of swapped places in that respect.
Being a bit of a princess about it, but that's okay.
You'll get over it, Missy.
I know. And then can you believe next week is Thanksgiving week?
I know.
So I think episode Monday and Wednesday, and then we'll play Black Friday episode by ear.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you're on.
Yeah, but I think I have the morning off. So I think it just depends on how many cocktails I have Thanksgiving night because I technically don't have to work until the afternoon on Black Friday, which is new. Usually I'm the first one in the building. So if I can have a cocktail or two, it'd be great for me, but then that kind of ruins the podcast. So
bring your disheveled ass to breakfast and we'll have a podcast.
Okay, I'm not against that.
Even if we're looking like homeless in pajamas, we're getting it done.
I love that. And also my favorite thing about Black Friday is not even the sales and not even the big work day. But for me, it's also the first day of the official Christmas season.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me that I can't celebrate yet. And I always watch Elf. So I'm like getting ready, thinking about it, pulling out my sweatshirt that lights up with Elf's face on it. I'm like getting ready for the holiday season this week. I went to Michael's today and looked at garland and bows. I'm like, I'm in it. I'm ready to go.
Ugh, I'm not. I hope I get that. I hope I get there by next week, and then I'll just be excited when I get to open up all of the Christmas stuff that I have. So
yeah, we'll get you there.
Yeah.
You know me and my little elf-like Christmas spirit. We're gonna get you there.
Right?
You have no option, really.
No.
So we'll get you there.
I'll embrace it. We'll get it done. Let's get into what's roasting.
Let's get into it. So kind of a short episode today, not a ton going on. I do want to mention that Harry Styles got a new haircut, and the internet is just talking a lot about it.
Now I have to look it up.
It's a full buzz cut.
I was like,
he looks good.
Yeah.
Just it's not the coif and like the like run your hands through it hair that he's used to having. But I just am so fascinated by the fact that there's so much commentary on this man getting a haircut.
I have to say, as a prior service military human being, there's something about that buzz cut that does things to me. What it is.
Listen, it's not even, I mean, yes.
I'm like,
clean cut always works. But the internet is actually going the opposite way. People hate it.
I know. Well, because they're not used to it.
Yeah, and I feel bad. And then his mom had to come out and was like, "Why are you hating on my son and his haircut? For the love of God, his
Leave
hair
my
will grow
son
back."
alone.
I know.
Listen,
like,
Mom, he's a grown-ass man.
Mama Styles got to come out and be like, "Leave my kid alone." Like,
I don't care what my kids end up being in their life, but if either one of them end up being a place where it's public commentary, I'm not going to be fighting their battles.
No,
I'm not going to do it.
And of course, she said something like annoyingly profound about it. Like, he represents inclusivity and positivity for everybody. And being positive no matter what you look like, and so you guys are coming after him for a haircut. Like, okay, it's not.
P.S. He cut his hair. It grows back. Next.
Yeah.
My comments.
And like, I think it's kind of hot. I don't know. Like, I like the change of pace.
I'm here for it. I say yes, Harry.
Oh man. In other news, Martha Stewart.
These are like 2 back-to-back devastating stories. I feel like we need to prep our audience, preferably since these two humans know each other.
And then, yes, this is Harry Styles cut his hair, and then the world changed. And Martha Stewart decided that she's canceling Thanksgiving, and Snoop Dogg decided he's not smoking weed anymore. And I just want to know if they were on the same page about releasing this info at the same time.
I think so. I think they're like, guys, we're going to be doing things that aren't going to make people happy. We're just going to all do it together. Let's jump. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
Well, I get it from the Martha Stewart sense because she was saying that she already does so many. She's like, I have to cook like 7 turkeys and I still have to do one for the ABC News. So like, I just decided that I didn't want to have any more turkey. I'm over turkeyed. People canceled on me. I don't care anymore. I'm like, I'm kind of here for it, but also like, you're Martha Stewart.
Like, you're not allowed to just let the show not go on, right?
And you also just admitted that you're letting your chef cook Thanksgiving dinner, but you're Martha Stewart.
Right. Hold on, chef.
I'm confused about all of this.
Well, the woman is 82 years old, and you know she doesn't create in a vacuum. You know she has teams of people for this. Chop this, peel this, do this. You're the executive chef. It's kind of like, you know, when you're just like, I'll put the little sprig of cuteness on it. I will put my name on it. I will taste this. No, salt and pepper more. And then that's all you do now.
I guess. So I'm assuming she was hosting and a bunch of people canceled and said they can't come. Are people walking by you in your car right now saying,
I'm also in a branded vehicle, so it's not like I'm hiding
anywhere.
So they see people like, what is she doing? Must be a show. Hi.
We're getting distracted. I went to Music Bingo last night with Bray.
I heard you had a good time.
It was so fun. Oh my God, I won.
Oh, you did?
I won a scratch ticket, and then my scratch ticket won. So I have a $5 scratch ticket in my car, and I almost felt bad. I was like, "Am I allowed to win?" But
yes, you are. Thank you for winning my money back. I appreciate you.
It was great. There was a lot of dog action.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I love dogs, but they don't all need to be barking at each other.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I don't know how Brie would do it every week. And why would you bring your poorly behaved, not poorly, your somewhat kind of only half behaved dog to a public place with other dogs? Doesn't that feel like kind of a nightmare?
That does bother me a lot. Like, I know that my dog is good for certain spaces. I know that I can put her in my pocket or like stuff her down in my shirt, close her up, and then no one even bothers with her. Yeah. If she's going to be walking around, she's going to be a pain in the ass bitch, and I know I'm not going to take her anywhere.
It was just like
stuff her away.
Labs all barking and like pulling on their owners' leashes to get to each other the whole time. And I just kept thinking, like, isn't this when you leave the dog home? Like, I totally
also not fun for you.
No! How do you hold your beer splashing everywhere because your dog's pulling? I just felt bad.
Yep.
But I love dogs, so I was just, I don't know.
Well, thank you for that sidebar. Yeah, she was like, I saw Tori. She's so cute.
We had fun. Yeah, I brought a whole
It was
group.
reported. Awesome.
I love that. Oh, yeah, I have pictures. I should throw them up on the Lemonadio Instagram.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I brought a whole group. We just needed something to do on a Thursday night. I texted a bunch of people. I was like, I need to get out of the house. We're going to Cape Cod Beer. We're finding Music Bingo wherever they are. We're going in that direction. So it was fun.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I wasn't there. I was at the yacht club with the Martha Stewarts of the world getting roasted. I get roasted every time I do trivia there.
What? Who did the roasting? I want the names.
It's too hard. It's too easy. It's not this. It's not this. Yet they come in droves. I pack the place like we're giving away free whatever.
I love it.
And then they roast me the whole time.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they do. Anyway, like that's pretty much the temperament of the club.
I'm like, okay, I'm getting what we're putting down right here. So you know what, Martha? If you don't want to be roasted for no Thanksgiving, then you roll it up and smoke it, because apparently Snoop Dogg is not doing that anymore.
Is not. And I love the fact that he posted about it on his Instagram like it was a death in the family. Like the way he phrased it.
Yeah. It was the last statement. Like, we're not taking any comments. Please respect our privacy. It was very funny.
It was like a full breakup text with weed.
Yeah.
After much consideration and conversation with my family, I have decided to go separate ways with smoking.
Yeah.
Please respect my privacy. Like, you could have told me this was e-news for the last Bachelor couple, and I would have believed you.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it comes a point where it's like your lungs are bothered. You know, there are reports that you just get paranoid. There's other stuff. Like Willie Nelson's not leaving it be. You should have seen the puff of smoke that Willie Nelson came out in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Man's 90 years old. He is not stopping. Snoop Dogg has got grandbabies now. He's doing motivational speaking. You know, he's busier more now than ever.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just getting in his way to be able to do the things that he needed to do for his family.
Let's clarify, because he said he gave up smoke, and obviously now weed in general is so much more attainable and accessible than it ever used to be. So that doesn't necessarily mean he's giving up weed. He's just potentially giving up like rolling a joint.
Right.
Like there's other options now.
Correct.
So
I've given up most smoking things also.
Yeah. But
ingestion.
I was about to be like, but edibles, I know you won't have to know.
We're not ready for that. We're not going there. That's not happening. My joints say no. Give me the tinctures.
It's good for it makes me crazy, but yeah,
go
for it.
You did make a valid point. So he didn't say he was not going to consume cannabis. He did say, I'm giving up smoke.
Yeah, I just feel like that's like a hard left to go from. Like, how do you detox after that?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What else? Oh, Billie Eilish came out. So she made a speech at what was it? Oh, Variety's Power Women of the Year or something, awards conference or something. And she had some pretty interesting things to say. I maybe she was accepting an award. I didn't get like all the details.
Variety's Power of Women event in LA, giving a tearful speech. So it doesn't exactly say what she was there giving a speech for. She was there.
But she was there, and she had some pretty interesting things to say about how she was uncomfortable being a woman and how she's kind of changed her mindset on that. And I thought it was really kind of a powerful moment and a really good place to kind of share that vulnerability and say that. You know, she did say for a couple years, oh, it's really hard to be a woman out here. I've never truly felt like a woman, and I've spent a lot of my life not feeling like I fit in being a woman for a couple of years because of that insecurity. I became almost very like pick me about it. I would be like, well, I'm not like other girls because I don't do this and this. But I've grown to be very resentful of that period of time because I'm so much more interested in being like other girls because girls are great.
Yeah.
Women. And I just love that. I like that she's coming out and saying like, it's weird when you don't have an identity and it doesn't resonate with the exact kind of woman that you're being shown. It's hard to feel like you fit in. But the minute you like actually get into the empowerment of women and everybody's individuality, how that mindset can change. And I totally can see what she would say about feeling resentful to that time period she was in and how she felt now.
Well, I mean, to be honest, someone in their mid 40s, so I'm like halfway through here. In my 20s, I never felt like that was a space that I fit in with other 20-year-old girls. And I'm sure you can attest to that too.
Yeah.
Like we were always a little bit more mentally mature, but also you're physically like, you're a fucking animal. You're just an animal at 20. I really feel like you're not even knowing what you are today, let alone as a person, let alone as a woman. So I really didn't digest any of those pieces until late in my 30s. And it's really taken me to my mid 40s to really embrace that space.
Yeah.
So good for her at not even mid 20s to say that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think it's an interesting conversation. You know, I think that there's so much of that as media, and I think it's exasperated now in a way of like what a woman should be and how they should be. And when you're seeing it on your feed constantly, and then you're also up against societal expectations of like a wife, a homemaker. And while we're breaking those down, so much of those things still kind of carry over into what that perception is of how a woman should be in her day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And I can imagine you who was in a military background, and that's like a very masculine time or space, I'll say, right? Like I can imagine being like, I can't like none of these images of women resonate with me. So
no, not at all.
Like
yeah. It just never, it was not something that I was like, oh, I identify as that, or I feel like that, or I never really fit that space. So I never understood it until later on in life. And now I'm like, wow, I really do need women in my life. I really do need that space, that structure, that friendship, that kinship, because you do need it.
Yeah, I think I really started to kind of come into like my true femininity more in my late 20s and even the last couple of years, just in that I feel like I've received more backlash is the wrong word, but I've been like so much more aware of the misogyny that I face, especially being we talk about this all the time, like a small statured woman in business or in these extreme sports that I do constantly, that I always kind of get this like perspective of like, oh, where do you go to college? Or like, oh, what's, like people just kind of like hit me with this, like, they just assume I'm like this young, innocent and inexperienced person, right? Woman and girl, so to speak. So to kind of, I feel like,
they don't give you your space. They don't give you the space in the room, the chair at the table.
No, never. And it's like, it's a day-to-day battle. Like the UPS guy comes in and he's trying to tell me how to do my job. And I'm like, you're been here for 2 weeks and I've been running this business for 5 years. Why are you having
I look like I might need a booster seat, but listen, pal, I will fight you.
And like, I'm doing it in heels and a skirt and I'm still doing it better. But so it's that like,
box out, Tori, box out.
Totally. But I feel like I've like I've noticed those moments way, way more in the last couple of years, but it's had the opposite effect on me where I feel like I've stepped into my like female empowerment more than I would be, as opposed to like, I'll just act more like a dude. Like, no, actually, I'm like, no, I'm going to prove you wrong and I'm going to wear my heels higher and I'm still going to do it.
Let me just tell you, when I was in the service, one of my most terrifying drill sergeants was about 4'11", and she would drag over a box to scream in my face. And I lived in fear of this woman. Lived in fear of her.
Amazing. So here's the goal. The goal for this holiday season is just instill fear in the UPS men. That I
100% got to do it. Pick it up and you will put it over there, and I'll get it done the way I want it done. Thank you.
But low key, we do appreciate all the UPS men. You guys are the true elves for the holiday season. So I say this in jest because realistically, like, you run the show.
For sure, I love it.
I feel like that's it. I kind of had the thing about Cassie and Diddy going on, but it's so messy.
It's heavy. I definitely want to talk about it, just because you and I have both been in that sort of space.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I have the mental capacity on a Friday to like dig into it.
Yeah.
It's heavy. I support her.
Yeah.
There's more that's going to come out about it.
Well, that's
so
what
I feel like we just let it marinate.
Yeah, I think I put it on the list of things to talk about, but I also feel like we're going to see more and more. Like right now, it's still the first set of back and forth. So I'm kind of
lawsuits were filed, so we can say that lawsuits were filed. She's accusing Diddy of a whole host of things, many things.
Physical abuse, mental abuse, rape, and then there's like sex trafficking in there. And like it's going to get, I think it's going to get messy. So I think it's a Friday. I think we'll see nothing. It'll be pretty quiet over the weekend. And then I'm sure more headlines will come out on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah. I am almost done. I think there's one more episode left since we're jumping into our content recs before we leave. Okay. There's one more episode of Lessons in Chemistry on Apple TV.
I haven't watched it.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I wish I could unwatch it to watch it again. Because I love it so much. We will figure out a way for you to get it.
Okay, because I'm dying.
I love it so much. I really want to like erase it and rewatch it. That's how much I love it.
Did you read the book? Did I get you to read the book?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, I got you to read the book, right?
It's very close to the book also.
I'm interested to hear how they portray the dog.
Yeah.
And the dog's thoughts. Because he was such an integral character to the story and his commentary on it. So I'm interested to see how they interpret that into a show. But I've heard it's great. But I refuse to hear any spoilers. So I'm like, don't tell me.
I won't. I'm not going to ruin it. I just know that I think one episode left and I'm sad because it's really, really good. I did not watch the season finale of The Golden Bachelor last night, but I got a text message from one of my older female friends saying, ew, old people sex.
Oh, weird.
It was fantasy suites with old people. And I'm like,
oh my God. I don't want to know that. I think in general, I just feel
it's
like
The Golden Bachelor.
Yeah.
I know.
I just feel like in general, that part is always like, it used to be like so faux pas. You couldn't talk about it. They didn't. The girls, like, you would never. And now it's like so out in the open. And now we're talking about it with these old people. No, I'm good. Can we go back to when it was like super faux pas? Like, I don't need to know.
And for the love of God, can Gary stop crying? Enough with the crying. I can't do it.
Do you find, can I ask this and will you answer it on air? Is Cliff an emotional person? Like, does he come to tears a lot? No, you're like, no.
We would not be married. I don't even cry. My kids are like, I cry at like movie crying. So it's like light laughy cries. It's not like during times of duress and major stress, I'm flat. It's like,
have I told you the story about my sister crying at my brother's wedding?
No, but I can't do boy crying. I don't, it's sexist of me. I know.
Yeah, it is 1,000% sexist.
It's so 100%. Sexist and wrong, but I find it so unattractive when boys cry.
I'm the opposite. I find it like, it's almost like a little mini win. Like, yeah, I got you to feel something. Yeah.
I'm like, next.
Like, you feel safe with me. Yes. Like, love it.
Oh my
it.
God, no. Oh, I don't want to see that side.
But I also cry at literally everything. I think last week I was laying in bed and boyfriend not boyfriend came in and I was watching a show and it
By
was
the
like,
way, what are we calling him now?
Boyfriend not boyfriend. That's the term. So I was watching Dancing with the Stars and it was like a sweet moment, and there I am crying like in bed at Dancing with the Stars, and he comes in from like playing video games or whatever he's doing, and it's like, hey, I'm just checking on you, and I like have the covers up, and I'm like, I'm good, I don't need anything, nope, I'm good, thanks. And he's like, are you fine? I'm like, yeah, I'm just crying. He's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, just
like,
crying.
It was a really good paso doble. I don't know.
That's exactly what it was. It was like,
so awesome.
Her best friend died. I don't know. He was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my World of Warcraft. Never mind.
That's so awesome.
My content rec is, so this book called Iron Flame came out. I'm about 40% of the way through, but it's a sequel to a book called Fourth Wing. Highly, highly recommend. It's like adult fantasy, really thick and juicy. The first 30% is like a lot of setup of the world, which most fantasy books are. And then after that, it's like an absolutely incredible story. It's like taking over everything. And then the sequel came out this past week or last week. So highly, highly recommend. But it's a doozy. Like the first book is going to be 600-700 pages. And now we're into the second one. But if you're into that genre, like I am, a little adult fantasy, like dragons and war colleges. I can
dig it.
In like a fantasy world, and then you add some like hot smut in there, like this is
so it's like sexy Harry Potter for you now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it is totally adult. Oh wow, I feel so called out. It is like adult Harry Potter.
That's all. I just needed to know where we're at. Text it to me so that I can put it in the recs for the show notes.
Yeah,
so that everybody can also find it. Maybe I'll find myself at a bookstore this weekend to scoop it up and jump into the.
I would buy it on Kindle because I think it's like a thick. Like,
I like that
because I think it's chunky.
All right, perfect. Get perky with us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the First Shot Morning Show. Thanks for being patient with us. Thanks for coming with us on the road. Apparently, wherever we are, wherever you are.
Right. Bye.
And that's it. We'll see you Monday.
The First Shot Morning Show is produced by Lemonadio. When life gives you lemons, make radio. We encourage everyone to listen happier.com.